Hello and welcome to UK Theme Parks. My name is Adam and today we're going to follow through on yesterday's Thorpe Park video. So Thorpe Park yesterday announced for 2018 it was going to be the year of the Walking Dead. Now we don't mind the year of the Walking Dead, and I hope you looked at our video yesterday. Please make sure give it a like. Let us know what you think of what the park is planning for 2018. So we know the maze is going to continue. We know there's going to be some events. We know there's going to be late nights, and we know there's going to be something outside the park. However, in the top corner here, we played the promotional video which the park released which really wasn't really about the year of the Walking Dead so much. It was kind of about the scare actors and what they were going through in order to, you know, audition. I'm pretty sure these guys weren't auditioning at the top of Swarm, but these guys, you know, kind of went out there and did something a little bit different. Now then, what did you spot from the video? We did this on our Facebook page yesterday because no one's really spoken about it. You know, we know there's some work going on inside the park. We rarely get to see anything that's going on inside the park during closed season without sort of someone breaking in, which doesn't happen. You know, we can see a little bit from Monk's Walk, but with what's going on in the park, we know that it's happening down by X, and we know it's happening at the front of the X building. So, what did you spot? Well, let's have a quick look. So, the image is now covering the screen, and what you can see is the X building has been completely demolished at the front. And not only does it look like the X building's been demolished, it looks like kind of the bollard area where there was concrete and things have been completely removed. It looks like it's been stripped right back. The queue line has obviously gone, and there's quite a lot of what looks like wood, to be honest, on the floor. Now, if you looked at the plans for the attraction, you will have noticed that it was going to have a watchtower built in. Most people were thinking it was going to be part of the prison scene from The Walking Dead. If you haven't watched The Walking Dead, I'm really sorry, you're not going to understand this. If you have watched The Walking Dead, the prison scene was probably, or the set, shall we say, was possibly one of the best sets there was, and, you know, follow through from one of the best seasons there was. So this is what we're expecting. You know, we know there's going to be a pre-show. We did wonder whether or not they would incorporate that on the inside the building, or whether or not they might incorporate that on the outside of the building as kind of a little bit of an add-on. And as it looks now, it looks like there's going to be no add-on to the front of the building. Now, the pyramid is still a horrible colour, so I'm not quite sure they're going to get away from that. But you can clearly see that it's been stripped back. The famous kind of entrance, the keyhole entrance, as I always like to call it, has gone completely. Anyone spot it? Let us know. Let us know in the comments below. What do you think they're actually going to do at the front here? Do you think they're going to completely retheme the front? Do you think they're going to completely have to repaint it all? You know, what are your thoughts on this? We see it for the very first time, completely stripped back. And we know something's going on there. We've seen the plans, but this is the first time that we've actually got a glimpse of the front of the X building since the close of last season. And Thorpe Park gave it to us themselves. Whether or not they meant to do it, they have. They've given it to themselves. But what else did you spot? You know, we don't actually know when this was filmed. We're guessing it was filmed in 2018 and not 2017, given the weather, given kind of the plans which the park put forward, and given kind of audition dates and things. We believe this would have been filmed in January, so not that long ago. You can also clearly see that Slammer is in the picture. Slammer, of course, shut. Well, kind of shut in 2016, but it was announced it wasn't going to be reopening in 2017 after a bird's nest was found. I believe bird's nest was the initial reason why it wasn't going to reopen, and then it kind of snowballed from there to be needing parts and more kind of custom things built for it. Now, Slammer has been on its last legs for quite a few years now. However, 2016, it arguably had its best season yet. It opened on time. It stayed open for probably 8/10 of the season, possibly even longer, before finally giving up at the end of the year. But, you know, we've already got Logger's Leap, which is sitting there, and he's a little bit of an eyesore because you can see it. It's clearly rotting away in the corner. You already have kind of an abandoned area down there that looks even more abandoned than I think it's supposed to look. And now, of course, we have Slammer, which we did kind of expect would be removed from the park. Now, we don't know whether Slammer's up for sale. I can't see any park across the world taking a gamble on this. You know, Thorpe Park have, you know, they have a great maintenance team. They know exactly what they're doing. S&S don't support this ride anymore, the manufacturer that made it. So I cannot see another park wanting to take this and do anything with it. You know, Catapult, the original one, which I believe was at a Six Flags park, correct me if I'm wrong, you know, was torn down. No one bought it. No one was interested in it. It was completely removed. And, you know, at the end of its life, Slammer was the only one in the world. And, you know, I'll maintain that Slammer gave an excellent ride. You know, I genuinely feared for my life on that thing. But it was incredible the way you flew through the sky. Loading, unloading, balancing, going up and down. It just took too long, and I'm kind of not surprised really that, you know, the park might not want to invest any more time in it. If they wanted to get some more flat rides and thrill rides, or even family attractions, you know, there are much better options than Slammer, and probably much more reliable options that won't drain the maintenance resource and kind of, you know, keep the mechanics tied up all year long, which I think Slammer probably did. But Slammer is still there. You know, whether they remove it, whether they're scrapping it, we don't really know why it's not gone. If they are selling it, personally I think they should have removed it and put it into storage. There's a lot of storage space at Thorpe Park. For those that don't know, it kind of is the storage place for everything. So all the old rides, the Vengeance and everything that they have from London Dungeons is all stored at Thorpe Park with the drop tower. And, you know, this is the area where Merlin tend to store a lot of their bits and pieces. So Slammer, do you think it'll still be there at the start of the season? We are still just over a month away from probably preview day. Do you think it's going to be there? Is it going to be an eyesore for this season? Or do you think the park are going to quickly whip it out at given opportunity? So what we learned, Thorpe Park kind of gave us an insight to the closed season. There was a video going on in the background about what they're promoting for this year, but we saw the work starting or developing at the front of X, which definitely indicates, I think we already know that X is going to be rethemed, and it gives us the indication exactly what's going to happen, and we see that Slammer is still present at the park. So what do you think is going to happen to X this year? We think it's definitely going to be changing. We don't know for sure, but we've kind of gathered that it's definitely going to be changing. What do you feel it's going to do? You know, this is a family attraction, or has been a family attraction. Maybe not so much with the rave music, but, you know, younger children could go on it at 1 meter, be very happy, not get off offended or anything like that. With a Walking Dead theme, that's not going to happen. The park seems to have shifted back to heading for young teens again this year, which is very strange because, you know, their best attendance years are when they've installed family rides, and it did kind of give the indication last year that they were going to be heading down the family ride route. Are Thorpe Park stuck in a rut? Do they not know what they're doing anymore in terms of a target audience? We're not really sure, but what do you think? Do you still class it as a major thrill park? Are you happy that X is going to be having a thrill makeover, or would you prefer to leave it as it is? You know, if you're not a fan of a Walking Dead, you're definitely not going to like the retheme. As a fan of the Walking Dead, I'm really interested, bearing in mind that X is, it's, for me, has always been a really boring attraction, to see what they can do with it. It is a bit of a shame. My children might be a bit too scared to go on it, certainly my younger one, but I'm really fascinated to see what they can do with this little coaster and what the pre-show is going to be, and then kind of what scenery they can add inside. So let us know in the comments below. Please head over to our Facebook page, like, join, subscribe, get involved in the conversation. We want to hear your views. My name's Adam, this has been UK Theme Parks, and we'll see you next time.